All right, and I will mute you guys. All right. Brian, I'll leave you unmuted, and Greg, you're unmuted if you want to chime in at all. Brian, I know you have to go. Is there anything that you want to start with, like related to your homework or anything like that?
No, well, you got Casey, awesome job. Is she on the call? I can't see.
Yeah, she is.
Awesome job on the assignment. I mean, awesome. And Alicia, thank you for posting that the other day with those vision statement instructions, that list there. That was awesome too. Like I said in the chat, the homework assignments is not something that all of it, Greg and I are gonna. We're gonna review it and go over it and give feedback, but it's not required. It's not like. Alicia, where's your assignment? It was due yesterday. You get an F. You guys are adults. This training that we're doing, leadership. You guys are responsible for getting the work done, and we're not going to be on top of you to do it. So, but saying all that, I want you to do it. I hope that you do it. You can share it with us. You can do it on your own and keep it to yourself. But it is important stuff. Like I told you on the call last time, doing my vision statement, writing it down, and I think Alicia, you said this too, or someone said it in the chat. It becomes real. It becomes real when you write it down. It's not just up here anymore. It becomes something tangible, and it becomes something to work towards. So that's why it's very important to do that. So that's all I got.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah, I know Greg and Brian and I, like he mentioned, we did a similar leadership call series with Robert Hudgens, who is our upline founding coach, 15-star diamond, last year. And we were all in a group. There was about 10 of us. Most of them weren't my diamonds at the time. And, we shared our visions with each other. And I really got a lot out of it. I got a lot out of reading, Brian's and Greg's and, my other diamonds, because it was great, not only to hear their why, but to see their vision and share it, and share it with others and get comments and, feedback like, hey, that's not specific enough, I remember Robert made me redo mine like twice, so it's good stuff. All right, so I will start us off, and then Greg will tag in and close us out, kind of like Brian and Jason did last time. So this way you get to hear from the other two leaders who are part of this. So I'm going to talk about leadership, obviously, and I just took some notes, some things. I didn't put together a presentation or PowerPoint slides or anything like that, but just tell you where we started from. I started as a coach with Scott Gore. We kind of founded Team Engage in 2011, March. So it's been over 5 years now, and Greg Short and Jason were, two of my first coaches. I also had CK and Larry Moreno, if you guys know them. So Brian didn't come along till like a couple years later. But obviously he's a superstar, and then Trish last year, But in the beginning, we didn't really have any training. It's like my coach, he started my training with telling me to go read the PMP, read the PMP, which is that 50-page document, that legal document, which you probably haven't read. But that was my training, and the back office did have some videos and stuff, which was more about the game plan back then. Greg, you remember the game plan?
I tried to stay awake for the training that we had back in the day.
Yeah. It was pretty bad. I mean, I remember the coach packet that we got. It was kind of laughable. It's like, this is the training, really? But the great thing that we did have is I had role model in my coach and his coach, Super Dave, Dave Schmidt, who's also part of our groups that you see. And at the time we were, just running threads on the message boards. That's all we knew how to do. And that's the only thing I told my coaches to do is, hey, go do what I'm doing, and the good thing is it was kind of us leading by example. And, we were all hitting Success Club in the beginning. But it came a point where what I was doing wasn't working for some of my coaches. And that was frustrating, because I didn't know how to help them. It's like, if they were doing what I was doing, but it wasn't working for them, then I didn't know what to do, And that's kind of one of the great things about our team now is we have coaches who are not all doing the same thing. It's not like everybody's doing Facebook or everybody's doing Instagram. We have, all you awesome leaders who all know different things, right? Who are all, doing different things. And you guys can help us bring a lot more training expertise to our team. It's like one of you might be better at Instagram and things like that. So you can help us expand. So like, way back when I started, it's like, I didn't know what to do. I was literally lost at how to help these coaches, some of my coaches, that wouldn't, what I was doing wasn't working for them. So yeah. So anyway, I just think that, now I can also reach out to other leaders like I do, and I can bring in leaders like on our calls and stuff, and we can talk about topics like Instagram or building your local market like Jennifer Wooten did. And if you guys, you see other areas that we need training in on our team, let me know, and, I can try to get coaches who are good in those areas, or if of other top coaches who are good in particular areas, I can reach out to them, and try to get them. So, definitely let me know what you guys are feeling, what you guys are thinking, because I think that would be beneficial. Okay. So the other thing that the next thing I was thinking about with leadership, I know I was in leadership. I was in software development, IT leadership for, 20 years. And some of you guys might also be in some leadership in whatever jobs that you do or whatever, whatever careers that you've had in the past, you might have been in a leadership position. So I want to compare being in a leadership position in the corporate world versus being in a leadership in the coaching world. It's a lot different, So one of the things, in coaching, in the corporate world, you have, you want to find people that are economically minded, right? Who know how to, build a big business, or, how to, look at the profit and loss centers of your business and things like that. But on the coaching side, you want coaches who are more emotional, have more emotional intelligence, right? Because this is a social business, and we have to be able to emotionally connect with our team and our coaches. Another thing about the corporate world is it's all about control. It's like if you were in management in a corporate world, you control your people, right? It's like, their raises or whether they have a job or not, it is dependent upon you. So you tell them to do something and they go do it, right? That's not the way it works in the coaching world. It's like, I can't tell people to go do some, go hit SC5 or you're fired, or go hit SC10 if you want that, 5% raise at the end of the year. I can't do that. So it's more on the coaching side, it's more collaboration. It's like you're leading by getting others to collaborate like we're doing here, right? We're collaborating. It's like, I'm trying to bring, us leaders together to collaborate on ideas, to make things better, to train new coaches. On the corporate world, they build hierarchies. And then on the coaching world, it's networks, right? It's like we are networking with people. We're networking inside of our team. We're networking outside of our team. On the corporate side, they build structures. And on the coaching side, we build meaning and purpose with our team. And on the corporate side, they develop followers, and on the coaching side, we need to develop leaders. And that's what we're doing in this group. So if we want to be successful, if I want to be successful, Brian, Greg want to be successful, it's not by us getting more followers. That's not going to get us more successful. I mean, yeah, we'll sell a few more challenge packs. Yeah, we'll make a little bit more commissions, it's more discount coaches. That's not what I'm after. I want leaders. I want leaders on our team. I want to build more leaders who take off and blow up this business, and go do their own thing. And, I want you guys to skyrocket, because, that's going to help you, and it's going to help us in the long run. It's going to help us all. And that's what we need to do in this type of business. So that's our goal, right? To build you guys into leaders. Now, a leader is not a boss, okay? A leader is not a manager, okay? Think about, if you think about bosses and managers, they lead from behind. I could say that they push or they prod from behind, right? It's like they're not doing, they're like sitting in their big office or their big cubicle, and they're like, whatever they do during the day, and they're like, come on, get it done. Hurry up. You got a deadline. I got the project plan. What are you guys doing? That's a boss and a manager. That's not us, right? So we need to lead from the front. If you think of a string, let's say you had a string on a desk, and what happens if you try to push that string? It's just gonna buckle, and it's not gonna move forward. You want to lead that string, you got to pull it. Okay, so us as leaders, if you want to be an effective leader on this team, you need to set the example. You need to set the bar, And the reason that we chose each of you is because you are hitting Success Club 5 and Success Club 10. We went back and we looked at everybody month over month who was leading by example, who was, in the top recruiters, who was rank advancing. And, that's why we chose you guys, because you're leading by example, and you got to continue to do that. You gotta set, the bar at, SC10, if you want to lead by example, hit that every single month, and your coaches will follow you. Like I said, a leader models the behavior, does it first, leads by example, leads from the front, sets the pace, and the speed of the pack is the speed of the leader. Now, I'm not going to give as much homework, Casey, as Brian did, but one thing that I did think about is I would like for you to do is think of 10 to 12 attributes that you would look for in a new coach. If you wanted a coach on your team, somebody that you wanted to go recruit, what are the attributes that you would want in that person? You want, a go-getter, an independent thinker, a leader, a Ruby personality, or, maybe you want somebody like you, or maybe you want somebody that will dig in and find the answers for themselves, somebody that will, automatically go to the FAQs, or, go look up a video on YouTube instead of just coming to you to ask a question, or going into the engage group and posting a question instead of doing it themselves. So think of like all the attributes that you would want out of a good coach, and then ask yourself, after you write those down, do you have those attributes? You know, are you the type of person that goes and figures it out? The type of person that does the research on their own? Are you the type of person that other people come to for questions, you know? Or are you the type of person that just asks, you know, others for the answers, you know? So, and also think about, if you were a brand new coach, would you want to be sponsored by yourself? You know, because if you're not, if you wouldn't, then you got to think about what you should be doing, you know, so that you would want to be sponsored by yourself. Now, and you know, part of it is, you know, we're going to give you guys the exposure and the leadership and the opportunities here, you know, so that you will be put in a leadership position. You will have control over, you know, areas that you want. You will, kind of like somebody said last week on the call, you know, kind of fake it till you make it. And you know, you will have others that are coming to you and you know, for answers and things like that. So, you know, if you're not there yet, just think about how you can get there and how this opportunity can help you get there. So what is the, you know, the number one quality as a leader? And that is, you know, to instill confidence. You know, I mean, what all the new coaches are looking at you, whether they're your new coaches, you know, it's like if you've recently recruited a bunch of people and you're an emerald, or maybe you're a new diamond, they're looking to you for confidence that you know what you're doing and that you can help them get to where you are, you know, and beyond, right? And the number one gift that you can give as a leader is hope. You know, you can provide that hope that, yes, you can get, you know, to where I am, and you can get to beyond where Greg is. You know, you can, you know, you go through that vision and that why with them, just like you did with us. You know, you wrote your vision down, or you did a vision board, or whatever you did. Make sure you do that with your coaches. I mean, not the discount coaches, but any of the coaches that say they want to work this business. You know, first thing you need to do is dig into their why, dig into their vision, you know, help them to dream, and then, you know, give them the confidence that you're going to help them get there, you know, whether it's your coaches or, you know, the group that you're leading, if you're doing, you know, the new coach training, you know, and provide that hope that, you know, hey, I know what I'm doing and I'm going to help you get there, you know. So, one thing that I run into is, you know, as your team grows, you think like, how am I going to have time to help everybody, to work with everybody? I mean, I got 2,000 people on my team now. You know, how do I have time to work with everybody? Well, what you want to do is you want to focus on the top 5%, you know, and that's what we're doing on this call. I mean, you guys are the top 5%. It doesn't mean that you're the top ranked coaches. It means that you are the top 5% of movers on this team, you know, of people who are making it happen, of new leader growth, who have the enthusiasm, you know, who, you know, so that's where I'm focusing my time, right? The other 95%, it's like, come join a group, you know. It's like, you know, if they want help from me, I say, well, you know, if you're an emerald, you can join my emerald accountability call. If you're a new coach, you can come join my new coach call, you know, but we need to focus on the top 5% in our organization. Now, one key thing is, as your organizations grow, like right now, you may just have like 1 level or 2 levels deep in your organization. Okay. Always be thinking, this is very important, guys. As your organization grows, you need to be reaching down and working with all levels of your organization. And also don't think if they're just in your direct downline. If you have a coach that's under you that's a superstar coach, for example, Christina and her organization, Christina Beauvais, she is not in my direct downline. You know, she's not a bloodline from me, you know, like Ashley, Amaya, and Jessica Gray. You know, I can't drill down and see you guys, but you're below me, right? So I'm still going to work with you. You know, I still look for diamonds no matter where they are below me. So it's good to understand your tree. Look at your graphical genealogy. Don't just look at your sponsorship drill down, and work with any coaches. Like if you see, like, you know, if I see some coaches that start hitting Success Club, you know, on a consistent basis, I reach out to them. You know, a good example is Jessica Short. You know, it's like I had no idea who she was. I assumed she was related to Greg Short. And she was hitting Success Club, you know, 5, Success Club 10, like every month. And I just reached out to her, and I just assumed that she was related to Greg. And, you know, I said, hey, you're doing awesome. You know, I probably asked her, hey, is, you know, Greg your coach or whatever? And she's like, no, I'm under, you know, Allison, you know, one of my basically discount coaches. And I'm like, what? I mean, so, you know, she had no support at all, essentially. So then I started helping her and mentoring her, you know. So, you know, definitely keep that in mind. Remember that as your organizations grow, or even now, you know, reach down and work with anybody below you that is a mover, you know. So like Angie, you know, I don't know about Tabitha and like how involved she is in her leadership and her mentorship of her coaches. But if she's got workers, you know, work with them directly, you know. I know she doesn't have internet connection and stuff. So, you know, she could be a really good recruiter and a really good salesman. But if she's not a good leader and mentor, you know, that's where you should like step in and start working with them, you know. So, what else? Okay, goals. So we talked about goals already, right? We talked about the vision. You wrote your goals, and those are good. There's nothing wrong with you dreaming about where you want to go in 5 to 10 years, where you want to be. You know, that's important. But what's more important is finding out the goals of our coaches and helping them achieve them. You know, because if we stop focusing on our goals, like how much money we want to make and what rank we want to be, you know, because we all say, I want to be, you know, 5-star by this date. Well, don't think about that. Think about, you know, your coach's goals, and like, you know, they want to be diamond by this date, and that's what you got to help them do. You know, don't think about your salary or your goals. Think about, how can I help this person who wants to get to emerald, who wants to get to diamond? You know, what can I do to help them on a daily, weekly basis? And if you help them reach their goals, then your goals are eventually going to come true. So that's basically it. We need to obviously step out of our comfort zones. You know, you guys are, you know, some of you are already diamonds, some of you are new leaders. But to make this work, we need to step out of our comfort zones, and we need to be leaders. And, you know, part of me hates to see when new leaders break off and they start doing their own thing, you know, because then, you know, like Mark Hildebrand or Leah Hennefield, you know, running their own teams and running their own trainings. Because then, like, I feel like they're leaving the family, you know. It's like, oh, now they're not going to be here to help out with our training anymore or whatever. But, you know, really that's what we want. You know, we want you guys, we want to, you know, train you guys. We want you to become rock star leaders, and then go branch off and do your own, you know, start leading your own teams and start training your leaders and stuff like that. So, you know, I'll just close with that. That's, you know, my vision is, you know, once you get to a point where you start having, you know, so many leaders, new leaders on your team that, you know, you should go start running your own. So don't feel bad about leaving us, because we're just going to break out new leaders and constantly on our team, and just keep, you know, evolving this, because, you know, the goal and the mind shift now is let's just start developing leaders on your team, developing more leaders on this team, and constantly bringing more people in to help, with the areas that we have. And like we mentioned, I mean, we've got the sneak peeks, and we got the 21-day trainings, and we've got the free group trainings, and other things that we do on a monthly basis that are getting stale. And having you guys, leaders, just take charge of it, change it, make it your own. It's just going to make it better, and it's going to make you guys better leaders and more confident, and everything that we talked about. So I'll turn it over to Greg now, if you want to take yourself off mute.
Thanks. That was really great, and I love the opportunity to talk to everyone here. So thank you. No matter what time it is, whether it's way early out in the West Coast, I'm kind of in the middle. I'm in Utah, so not too early for me. But thank you so much. It really is inspirational to see the new leaders come on. May 1st is my 5-year anniversary, so I've seen a lot of people come, a lot of people, that, this isn't for me type thing, and really make sure that you make that commitment to be here for those people, for the other people on the team, and most importantly for yourself, because it really is a kind of one of the best analogies that I've heard is a slingshot or a bow and arrow. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it's going everywhere, but you're pulling back on that bolt or that arrow, and the further you pull up back, the further you're going to fly. So thank you so much for being here. So along with what Greg has been talking about, and he might have stole my analogy a little bit. Sorry about that. I got a phone call there. But it basically, what I'm going to be talking about is being a servant leader. And what is a servant leader? Greg talked about the string. I use a rope analogy. We can't push people in this business because it really is their business. It's what they can do, but it's us serving them. Now, what I like to think about is, yes, we're pulling them, with that rope. We can't push that rope. We can't push them to do something. We're pulling. But the other thing that allows us to do when we're pulling, it allows us to be able to catapult them even further than us. We want and need to have that motivation to see those people surpass us. That just benefits us in the long run when we have people that are doing better than us. So have that vision for them. Now, what I'm going to be talking about is I'm going to be going over some key things of being a servant leader, how we can serve people and lead them at the same time. And we want to build those things. And these can be things that you can utilize for the homework that Greg has used, kind of give you a cheat sheet. But really take a look at these, and are you doing these? How can you implement these? So the first one, and hopefully you're already doing this because it's really, as a coach, it should be something that you're doing, and that's listening. A lot of times when we're helping people, we want them to go to that next step of signing up as a coach and start sharing with other people. And we get them in and we say, okay, here, go do this training. And sometimes we're not listening to what our leaders need. We need to continue talking to them, keep reaching out to them, listen to them. I had one of my team members just this week, his mother-in-law passed away, and so sometimes we need to be listening, so we're not always going push, but we can give them that support. So make sure that you're listening, understanding where someone is at. That doesn't mean you can't encourage them and keep tugging on that rope to making sure that they're reaching their goals. Make sure that you're not pushing them. As soon as you start pushing that rope, things stop happening. The next thing is empathy. And I don't mean empathy of, oh, this is happening, yeah, just take some time off, do what you need to do, but understand where they're at. This is where it becomes really important to listen and understand what their goals are. So when things happen, as far as a family death or extra time at work, you can help understand what they're going through, but understand where they're going for their goals. Have that understanding, that empathy for their situation to really make sure that you can help them. Whether that's, you know what, free group, invite some people to my group, I'll help you out this month and we can work together. Whatever it is, make sure that you're there, understanding what they're going through. That is going to put the dollars into the emotional bank account like no other. Make sure you understand them. When they know that you're there to help and support them no matter what, that's going to go a long way down in the future. So the next one is just being aware. You know, reaching out to them on a regular basis. I have coaches that have taken a step back, but I reach out to them to understand where they're at, so that when they're ready, they know that I'm there and I know where they're at to make sure that they can get back on when they're ready. Now, this doesn't mean that you need to be doing this with every single coach, but reach out to them. Just know where they're at, you know, once a month, 2 times a month. Just say, I'm still there for you. Where are you at? How can I help you? So, now, one of the big things is, and that Greg hit on, as in the business world, I have to do what my boss says, otherwise I get fired. In our world, it's about persuasion, about showing them what we can accomplish, showing them that even when we have bad months, that we're still pushing forward, that we're still going and doing the steps every single day. And it's really persuasion instead of pushing. Look, I am moving, I am going. Please come along with me, encourage them. When they see you doing those things, when they see you pushing and you having a bad month and whatnot, and they see that you're still active, you're still going, they're going to want to follow you. There's a reason they joined you, and you want to keep that going. Now, the next thing is we can help these people, but we need to understand and have the system. We have the free trainings, we have those things, but we need to have that conception for those people also, especially the ones that are in this group. We talked about how can we keep it growing. We had the concept, came up with the conception of what can we do, and we looked at it and we said, here are some of our great leaders. Let's get them in. Let's get what we may feel is getting a little bit stale. Let's get some of these great leaders in that are already being amazing, and let's have them help us revamp things, help them see the vision, help them pass the vision. So having that vision and coming up with the concepts of what we need to do to grow our business is really important. Always look at the future. What can we do? Talk with your leaders, talk with your upline, talk with your leaders and see what their thoughts are. Bounce that around with everybody, but come up with a concept. Always be trying something new. Always try, get that system. Definitely have that system, but you always want to see, because there's always someone you can, reach out and touch. Now that comes to the foresight. Understanding some of the things that we go through, some of the struggles of how it's going to hamper our coaches is really important. Now this can be tricky at times, but knowing, my coach, his mother-in-law just passed away, I can see where he's going to have some struggles. I know that he's going to need to be reached out a few more times. than one of my other coaches that is in the system that's continually inviting. But having that foresight of what can I do for somebody, but then also having the foresight of what is coming out with Beachbody. When is the next Super Saturday? When is Summit? What can I do to get those people into the system to make sure that they have a path that they're on? So make sure you do that. Now, stewardship. This is very important. This is the consistency. This is the ownership of your business. This is the example that you're going to be showing to your team. That stewardship is really important. If you don't show ownership for your team, if you don't show the stewardship of helping those people, showing how important it is, it's the fourth vital behavior, the recognition. If you don't have that, your coaches aren't going to have it. So make sure that you're owning that piece of your business, and make sure that you're passing that along. Make sure that people see that they need to own their business, that what they are doing is helping the next person. Next one, commitment to growth. This goes along with, you hear every single coach, successful coach say, Success Club 5 at least, Success Club 10, be that example. Be that one that's showing, I am going to grow my team, but I'm also going to do self-development. I'm going to continue to grow myself, to grow the team, to continue to grow. So many people get finished with school and then they say, oh, I'm done learning. We need to be that example of, we're never done learning. We always are moving forward. We always have another book. We always have that next thing that we're doing. People want to be part of something that's expanding. They want to be part of something that's growing, where they can fit in and help that mission. That's where we help people. We pull them along. Come with us. Come with us and continue to grow with us. The last one is building a community. This is where it's so important. When you see the organizations, and I'm talking corporate organizations, the ones that are successful, they are a community. I'm a big Windows fan, but so when I say Microsoft Windows, that's what my past IT is, but Apple is a perfect example of this. You don't see people standing in line for days to buy the new iPhone or to buy the new Windows product. They stand in line for that Apple iPhone, the new netbook or notebook or whatever the Apple book is called, because it's a community. And that's what we're building. We're building a vision. And having that vision is really important. So you have the homework of your vision board. So this is really where my assignment is. I want you to take some time, and I want you to talk to that 5% of your leaders, 5, 10, 15, 20% of your leaders, and share that vision. Do they know what your vision is? If they don't know what your vision is, and you start pulling on that rope, are they going to want to come? It's super important that they understand where you're going. Because if they don't understand where you're going, you're pulling them into the unknown. It's just fog. So your assignment for me is to take that vision and share it with your team. Share it with your people that you want to follow you, that you want to pull, so that they can see you. And pretty soon, it isn't you pulling on that rope. It's you guys are leading and you're pulling other people with you. And it's just like the oxen. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but they have the oxen yoke. You have one oxen and it can pull like 1,000 pounds. When you have 2 oxen, you would think that they'd be able to pull 2,000 pounds, but you'd be wrong. When they are working together, they can pull like 4,000 pounds. By having two people and seeing a vision and working together, it's not just doubling what you can do. It is exponential of what you can do. So with that, hopefully you took some notes. Hopefully you can go out and share this vision with your team and really start working together and start building that community that people are going to join because they want to grow along with you. So
thanks, Greg. And just along those lines, one thing that I was thinking about is a lot of times, especially when in the beginning when you have like all discount coaches and you're just like pulling these dead weights, right? Who are never going to do anything, but yet you keep pulling them and trying to get them involved, and you're relentless. But I just want to say that you need to go find new people, new leaders. If you keep trying to pull the same dead wood, it ain't going to work for you. Just go find new people. That's why you constantly need to be looking. This is not a recruiting call, but I just made me think of it, that you constantly need to be recruiting. That's leading from the front. That you always see me recruiting 3 to 5, 7 people a month, because I know that 80, 90% are not going to do anything, but that's okay. I present the opportunity to them. I try to get them involved in our training and get them on the calls. But if they don't, that's okay. I'm going to go find, 5 more people next month, and I guarantee you 1 or 2 of them are going to want to do it. And that's what we all got to be doing. Working with the willing, whether they're on your team, not on your team, doesn't matter. So, does anybody else have any comments? Anything to add? All right. Well, thank you all for getting up early and joining us. Some of you got up early. All right, guys. We'll see you. We'll meet. I think Jason said the next one will be on a Thursday night. So.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Bye.